Oops, let me erase here. Got some marks to get rid of. Now, sometimes there's a whole area of math whereby you are multiplying two binomials together. Remember, binomial means two numbers, an expression with two numbers. We use a process we call, this is an acronym, FOIL. FOIL stands for first, outer, inner, and last. We want to do our multiplication in that order. I'll show you what I mean. In other words, we're going to start by multiplying the first term in each of our parentheses together. This is a first term, this is a first term. So 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x squared. Because x times x is x squared. Okay, then we do outer. So outer is 2x times negative 5. So folks, see if you can tell me, and Boris and your classmates, what's 2x times negative 5? D, very nice. Now we're not adding or subtracting here, we're multiplying. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. And we're multiplying that by x. So that's negative 10x. Remember, this is multiplication. All these pieces we're multiplying across. And let me just make a point here. Again, this goes back to basic algebra 1. When you have two parentheses like this next to each other, implicitly, this is multiplying. We're multiplying our two parentheses together. When you don't see any operation marker, like a minus sign or a plus sign, it's multiplication. So if I were to do something like this, that just means I'm multiplying 20 times x. Not adding, not subtracting, multiplying. So when you have the two parentheses sandwiched together like that, it's just multiplication. Okay, so now we do our inner. We've just done first and we've just done outer. Let's do our inner now. Folks, what's positive 3 times x? Yeah, that's right. That's right. 3x. And then finally, last, 3 times negative 5. Thank you, D. Thank you, Irma. That is right. Miguel, very good. Oh, be careful, Miguel. You got to remember the minus sign. Yeah, very nice, folks. Okay, now we're almost done, but not quite, because I see some common eggs here, common terms. 10x here, or I should say negative 10x here, and 3x here. Those are the same kinds of x. Well, so folks, tell me, what's negative 10x plus 3x? Safin, exactly. Now we're adding, remember, we've got the addition sign here. This is no longer multiplication, this is addition. Negative 10x plus 3x is negative 7x. There you go. So now I've got it fully simplified. My three different terms, x squared, x, and just a constant, negative 15. Jared, that's right. Okay. And again, this FOIL process takes practice, but keeping this order of operations in mind, first, outer, inner, and then last. That keeps things very systematic. But you do need to be, as you see, very careful with the negative signs, you know, multiplying positives by negatives versus positives by positives and so forth. Okay. So this is equal to this. They're actually the same value. They're just expressed in different ways. All right. By the sheerest coincidence, we've got a situation where you're being asked to multiply binomials together. What a shocker. So I'm going to set up the poll for you. Here comes your poll. Foil, first, outer, inner, last. Have fun and be careful with your work.
नहीं है जाओ यहाँ से अब खा लेने दे यार तब से नींद खराब की भी है
Okay. So we've got our binomials here, and again, let me just point out this means we're multiplying by definition. I mean, because there is no sign between our two parentheses, that tells us multiply. And because it's two binomials, we'll use that same acronym, FOIL. So let's start with our first terms across the two parentheses. That's 3x times x. So folks, help me out. Tell me what's 3x times x. Yeah, 3x squared. 3x squared. Oof, it's a sneeze and I didn't. Okay, now by the way, let's be strategic. That just got rid of two answers already. We know our first term is going to be 3x squared. Okay, and now let's do the outer. 3x times 2. Thank you. Through wide hope. Very nice. Miguel, that's right. 6x. Okay, now we're not done. We still have some more x's to deal with. The inner. 8x. Right? 8 times x. And then last, positive 8 times positive 2. So that's positive 16. And now we've got some pigeon eggs here. I keep calling them different kinds of eggs, but these are the same kinds of eggs, 8 of them and 6 of them. So we can combine those. 8 eggs plus 6 eggs is 14 eggs. Thank you, folks. And now we can match our answer. We can be sure, we can be sure we got the right answer. Okay. Give me a Y in chat if you see how we did this, mechanically speaking. Yeah. Again, it takes practice. But you get the, this FOIL is a big, just understanding how to do that in order is a big part of this. Y-ish. Okay, Zaire, fair enough. You probably want to go back and review Algebra 1. Again, I keep saying this, Algebra 1 and the number sense sessions. None of this is nobody knows this stuff magically. It's all built on previous knowledge, previous foundations. All of us learned it by first learning the basics and then building on it until we got to this stage. Well, that's okay, Zaire. Again, that with practice gets easier. Okay,